What if I told you there was once a race of beings who ruled the earth before humanity, masters of science, war, and cosmic knowledge, beings so powerful that gods themselves had to rise up to stop them? They were called the Asuras, and according to ancient Hindu texts, they were not demons as we imagine them today. They were a civilization, a people, a lost race that may have once walked this planet, only to be erased from our collective memory. This is their story. Long before humans built their first cities, long before the first kings wrote their names in stone, there was another world. A world ruled by those the Vedas called the Asuras, beings born from the same cosmic order as the Devas, the gods themselves. But the Asuras were not evil. In fact, in the earliest Rigvedic hymns, the word Asura was a title of reverence, meaning Lord, powerful one, or divine being. Even gods like Varuna and Mitra were once called Asuras. They were described as beings of great strength, intelligence, and cosmic authority. So how did Asura, once a word for divine beings, become synonymous with demons? The story begins with a cosmic rivalry. According to the Puranas, the universe was governed by two mighty races, the Devas and the Asuras. They were not opposites of good and evil, but rather two sides of the same cosmic coin, light and shadow, order and ambition. Both were born from Kashyapa, the ancient progenitor, and his wives Aditi and Diti. From Aditi came the Devas, beings of light. From Diti came the Asuras, beings of power. But their philosophies differed. The Devas sought harmony with cosmic law, dharma. The Asuras sought mastery over it. Where the Devas turned upward toward spiritual transcendence, the Asuras turned inward toward knowledge, science, and control of the material world. In this difference lay the seeds of war. The stories of the Asuras are not just battles between good and evil. They are the chronicles of a civilization that challenged the divine order. Take Hiranyaksha, who is said to have once tilted the very earth from its axis. Or Hiranyakashipu, whose mastery over the cosmos was so great he became nearly immortal, forcing even Vishnu to incarnate as Narasimha to stop him. These are not tales of mindless monsters. They are the sagas of beings with advanced knowledge, perhaps even technologies that the ancients struggled to describe. And the evidence doesn't stop there. The Asura's cities were said to be vast, technologically advanced, and glittering with wonders beyond human comprehension. The most famous of them all was Tripura, a city not on earth, but in the sky. According to the Shiva Purana, the Asuras built 3 colossal flying fortresses, one of iron, one of silver, and one of gold, that floated in space and could align into a single superweapon capable of destroying worlds. Does that sound like mythology? Or a memory of a civilization with technology far beyond our own? Even Ravana, the king of Lanka and perhaps the most infamous Asura of all, was said to possess the Pushpaka Vimana, a flying craft that could move in any direction and travel across the skies. Ancient texts describe these vehicles with eerie precision, complete with pilots, propulsion, and aerial battles. Could these Vimanas be echoes of lost technologies, the remnants of a civilization that reached for the stars long before we did? But perhaps the most fascinating clue lies in the values and culture of the Asuras themselves. Unlike the Devas, who ruled from the heavens, the Asuras built their kingdoms on earth and under it. They were described as builders of cities, miners of metals, and masters of the sciences. Some texts even claim they possessed knowledge of medicine, weaponry, and cosmic energies that humans could not understand. Is it possible that these stories are distorted memories, oral histories of a prehistoric civilization that achieved incredible technological feats before vanishing? And here's where it gets even stranger. The story of the Asuras is not unique to India. Around the world, we find echoes of this forgotten race. In Greek mythology, the Titans were primordial beings overthrown by the Olympian gods. In Norse myths, the Jotnar, giants of immense power, fought the Aesir in a cosmic struggle. In Mesopotamian texts, the Anunnaki were powerful beings who ruled humanity before being cast out. Different names, different lands, but the same story. A mighty race, a cosmic war, a disappearance. Could all these myths be fragments of one ancient memory, the memory of the Asuras? And then there's the question of what happened to them. The Puranas tell us the Devas and Asuras waged countless wars. Battles fought not just on Earth, but across the cosmos. Some Asuras were slain, some were exiled, and some simply vanished. But ancient Indian texts hint at something more profound, that the Asuras were not destroyed, but descended into the underworld realms. Patala and Rasatala, vast subterranean kingdoms said to be filled with wealth, technology, and knowledge. Even today, stories persist of Naga cities beneath the earth, or mysterious underground civilizations in Tibetan, Hindu, and even Native American traditions. Are these just myths, or whispers of where the Asuras went? Modern archaeology might hold a clue. Across the Indian subcontinent and beyond, we find signs of sudden cultural resets, civilizations that appeared with advanced knowledge seemingly out of nowhere. The Indus Valley civilization, with its sophisticated urban planning, drainage systems, and metallurgy, still puzzles historians. Who taught them these skills? Could they have inherited knowledge from a lost people, perhaps the last remnants of the Asuras? Even the unexplained megalithic sites, from the temples of Malta to the Cyclopean walls of Peru, hint at a shared legacy of ancient builders with technology we still struggle to explain. Could this be the handiwork of a civilization humanity has forgotten? And here's a chilling thought. What if the Asuras never truly disappeared? Some ancient texts hint that they still exist, watching, waiting, influencing humanity from hidden realms. The Mahabharata mentions Asuras incarnating among humans to shape destiny. The Devi Bhagavata Purana suggests that their descendants walk among us, guiding science, politics, and power. What if the Asuras were not destroyed, but simply adapted? In the end, the line between myth and memory is thinner than we think. The story of the Asuras is not just a tale of good versus evil. It's the story of a civilization that reached for the stars, that mastered science, built flying cities, and challenged even the gods. A civilization that might have walked this earth before us, and perhaps still does. And maybe, just maybe, our myths are not fiction at all. They are history, written in the language of poetry, passed down across millennia, waiting for us to decode them. So the next time you hear the word Asura and imagine a demon, remember this. It might just be the distant echo of a forgotten race, a people who once ruled the earth, and whose legacy still lives in the shadows of our myths. This is the Mystical Lab, and this is the story of the lost race of the Asuras, the civilization that time tried to erase.